For most of the bug bounty hunters, one of the most interesting feature to test on web application is file uploads, right? Because depending on the misconfiguration, we can get plenty of vulnerabilities. Like we can get cross-site scripting, SQL injection, remote code execution, and whatnot, right? And as we have discussed in many of the previous videos, that how we can bypass some of the most common file upload restriction. In this video, we're going to dive deeper into a different configuration, and we're going to see that what will happen if this particular functionality gets misconfigured, then what can be done over here, right? So basically, we're going to see an application that is allowing us to upload a zip file, and then it is allowing us to extract the zip file on the web application. We are going to see that how we can find some certain type of vulnerabilities on these kind of application, and what can be the common fixes for this, right? But as always, before diving deep into this video, if you haven't checked out my previous video, then go ahead and check it out. The link of the video is given in the description, as well as you can see it at the right side of the screen. And now, with that being said, let us get started. Okay, so before diving deep into this video, let us try to go ahead and understand the functionality and the web application first, so that we can understand what kind of application we are dealing with and what can be the possible issues over here. So the application I'm talking about is this. So you can see it is, just a sample application, but in real world scenarios, you're going to find application very much similar to this. So the goal is to understand how these kind of application works and what can be the potential issues that can arise over here. So it says that we need to upload a zip file, right? So let's quickly go ahead and upload a random zip file to see how it is working. So I'm going to go to downloads and I'm going to upload a sample zip file. Let's say this one. Okay. Let me just click on open and we can just go ahead and click on upload and extract. Okay. As you can see, the moment the file got uploaded, it has been extracted and the content is getting served over here, right? We can simply open this in a new tab and we can clearly see that the file has been successfully extracted, right? So from what we have understood from this application's behavior, that it is going to take the zip file as an input, then it is going to extract all the zip file, most likely in this uploaded slash extracted directory, right, with some random value, and then it is going to serve us the file through this link, which we can use to access the file which has been extracted, right? In many real world application, you'll see functionalities like this, where you need to upload a zip file and it's going to like do some cross checks, or extracting the files in the background and a lot of things. So if your file is getting extracted, right, in this kind of scenario, what is the possible vulnerability that we can do? One of the most common vulnerability that we can look for in this kind of functionality is, again, path traversal, or you can say local file inclusion. Okay, not like a local file inclusion where we can access the file, but something more, a little complex but interesting. So let's try to go ahead and see that how we can exploit these kind of applications. Okay, so now to understand what exactly is happening in the application and what can be the possible vulnerability, we need to understand the source code of it. Okay, so that we can have a little more information on what the application is actually doing. So let me just show you the code of the source code. And this is why I always tell you guys once again that if you really want to dive deep into bug bounty, you should know little bit of programming language at least. You should know how an application sends a get request or a post request and something like this. Okay, but no worries, here I'll be explaining all the code to you so that we won't be having any issues at all. So what it is doing is that if you take a closer look at this code snippet, you'll see something interesting. So the app is sending post requests to this uploads endpoint. Okay, so this is where we are actually sending the request when we are uploading the zip file, and it is taking the path, okay, from the request. Then it is checking the session and all those things, and if you take a closer look, it is extracting the file in uploads slash extracted slash and the request session user id. What it means is, you see that the file which was extracted was present in this directory, uploads extracted, and this value, which is according to the code, is the session id, and then the file name. If you notice one thing, the file name is actually the same file which is present inside the zip file. You know what I'm saying? Like if we go ahead and open the file which we have uploaded in the application, like let me just show it to you. If we go and try to access the file sample zip, let me see if we can access it directly from here. Yeah, you see inside this file we had this sample.txt file. It is giving sample 2 because I have already extracted it somewhere. So that's why it is sample 2. As you can see, when I first extracted it, it was sample 1. Okay, so this is exactly what the application code is doing. Okay, let me just go back again to the code. Yeah, so it is extracting the file in uploads slash extracted and the session and the final, the file name. Okay, the interesting thing to notice is, as I've told you again, that the file name is staying the same even after extracting. Like, normally what happens is that when you try to upload a file, the file name gets changed when it is uploaded, right? But over here, after extraction, the file names remains the same. Keep this in mind because this is the actual issue. Okay, you can see when we are getting extracting, this is something that will get on the console, and once it is extracted, it will just redirect us back to the dashboard. Okay, this is exactly what is happening. So in this scenario, let's just try to verify our hypothesis. So node server.js, let me just start the server. Just a second. Attach. Let me stop it and let me just start it again. And let's go here. Okay, let me cancel it and let me just do a quick refresh. Let's try to upload the file here. Let's go and upload sample zip. Let's try to click on upload and extract. You can see it has been extracted, and if we go and open this file, you can see again it is following the same pattern, right? It was extracted in upload slash extracted slash this is the session ID, right? And then this is the sample.txt file, which was the actual file present inside the zip file. Now the issue here is that if you like took a deeper dive into this code, what exactly happening here is that this file, the file name is stays the same, so let's say instead of sample.txt, what will happen if you set the file name to let's say something like this, I don't know, maybe dot dot slash dot dot slash and then sample.txt. What will happen in this scenario? Now if the application is not properly sanitizing the file name which is getting extracted, this can cause a local file inclusion kind of vulnerability, right, where we will be able to upload the file outside of the intended directory, right? Or if this actually exists, then we can also overwrite the file, right? So this can be the one of the most interesting vulnerability that can happen in this particular scenario. This is known as a zip slip attack. Okay, so let's try to go ahead and see it in action to see how we can create a zip file and create a file name inside the zip file with dot dot forward slash, and let's try to see that how we can exploit it. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to create a zip file, right? And for that, I'm going to use a Python program that I have created. Okay, so let me just show you what this program is. So here is the file, which is zip.py. If we go ahead and extract the content inside the file, we'll see something interesting. Okay, so you can see this is the code of the program, and it is nothing. It is just like we're importing this particular library, and this is the file, or this is the content that we're going to write inside this zip file. Okay, and inside this particular file, which is test.txt. Okay, so basically we are creating a text.txt in which this content will be there, which is overwritten, and we are going to wrap that up inside an exploit.zip file. Okay, it is as simple as that. So let me just go ahead and quickly run this particular program. Zip.py, and here you can see we have this exploit.py file. Let's go ahead and try to upload this, and if everything works fine, we should have an extracted file named as let's go ahead and see, here it is, which should be named as test.txt, right? Let's go ahead and click on upload, and you can see here we have the text.txt file. We can open this in new tab, and it says overwritten, which is exactly what we were looking for, right? Now how can we exploit this particular misconfiguration through this Python program? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to modify the Python code, and I'm going to simply append a double dot with a forward slash like this. Okay, let's go like this, and we are simply going to just save this right now and good to go. This is exactly what we needed to do. Let's try to go ahead and again execute the program. Zip.py, we'll again have exploit.zip. Let's try to go ahead and upload it. Let's go ahead and upload it right over here. Exploit.zip, click on upload and extract. You can see the file has been uploaded and we're not seeing anything, right? Like this is the exact file which was getting uploaded. Let me just do very small thing. Let me just open an incognito tab and paste the same link over here. Let's try to go ahead and upload the file. Click on upload and you can see something interesting happens. What actually happened here is that the file was uploaded, but it was uploaded not in the directory which was expected by the application, which is why we are seeing nothing. So we know that the file is actually getting uploaded inside this directory. There's extracted, the session and text.file. So if we did the double dot and forward slash and if it was working, it should be uploaded inside here, right? Let's try to go ahead and hit enter and let's see what happens. You see, we were successfully able to load this file, right? Which simply means that we were able to upload the file outside of the actual expected directory, right? Now this can be an issue because right now over here, you see, I'm not uploading a file to a sensitive location. For example, let's say if we try to upload it on /etc/password, right? Or maybe we can override the server code itself. So this can be actually a very critical issue. Okay. So let's try to just to see that we are able to, overwrite the file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to again execute this command. Okay. Execute this program, but this time I'm going to change the payload. Okay. So let's say instead of overwritten, what I'm trying to do is let's say your data has been overwritten. Sorry, written. Okay. Let's execute this zip.py and again let's go ahead and try to upload this exploit.zip, right? Click on upload. It has been uploaded. Let's try to refresh it and you see we were successfully able to overwrite an existing file which was present onto the server, right? By just exploiting this particular vulnerability. So this is how you need to actually exploit this zip slip attack to, overwrite the file onto the server. This is a very interesting vulnerability and it can be a critical vulnerability because this can have severe consequences on the server, to its user and the application itself, right? So I hope you all have understood that how exactly we can find this vulnerability, this zip slip attack. If you have any doubts, if you have any issues, just feel free to let me know your doubts or issues in the comment section. By the way, I'm also going to upload this Python code on the description so you can have a look at it and you can just create payloads of your own, right? But with that being aside, if you have any doubts, if you have any issues, just feel free to let me know your doubts and issues in the comment section. Also, do join our Telegram channel if you want to stay updated with the latest trends and technologies going under cybersecurity, bug bounty, and ethical hacking. And with that being said, keep learning, keep hacking, and thank you so much for watching this video.